What are you doing there?
Dandavat from myself and Swaha also. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So,
Thank you,
Maharaj, thank you very much for joining. Let's start the program with prayers. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashtata Deshadarine Aljano Lambito Bhujo Kanakavatato Sankirtana Kapitaro Kamalaya Daksho Vishwambaro Dujabaro Yuga Dharma Polo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Karunavataro. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, first of all, from Ambrish Prabhu and the whole TOVP team, we thank you and welcome you for this TOVP talk show. We wanted to a little bit introduce you before we start the interview. And we are very, very happy that you are here in this show. And to all our viewers who have logged in, we wanted to interview today His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj on the topic HARER Naam, no other way, no other way, and no other way. Now a little bit introduction about His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj. Maharaj was born in 1949 in the village Aravade. He has built a beautiful temple in Aravade, and the TOP team had visited the temple for fundraising there. And in fact, all of his centers in Maharashtra, we collected at least $2 million from Maharashtra. In 1971, he met the devotees at the first 10-day Cross Maidan Pandal festival, organized by Srila Prabhupada himself and his Western disciples. He was initiated in Vrindavan and Gopastami Day in 1972 and received the sannyas order from His Divine Grace in the year 1975, in December of 1975, at the age of 26 years. I think in 1972 also Maharaj came to Mayapur. Is that right, Maharaj?
73 was the first time.
Yeah. One of the most important instruction which Maharaj received from Srila Prabhupada was to preach Lord Chaitanya message by organizing Padayatra. Maharaj is very well known all over the world for his organizing Padayatra to realize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's declaration, the holy name of Krishna will be preached in every town and village on this earth. That is also one of the predictions which this temple is going to fulfill. Lokanath Swami Maharaj has worked on establishing many temples. ISKCON Aravade, as I told you, ISKCON Nagpur, ISKCON Amravati, ISKCON Noida, ISKCON Pandharpur, Sholapur, to name a few. And TOP visited all these places which I have mentioned and even more. He is well known for his inspiring lectures and kirtans, and the devotees call him Kirtan Samrat very affectionately. In 2006, he took over the whole Holy Name project, which is an initiative to increase the events and activities that people can participate to spread the Holy Name on this planet. Everything is Holy Name with him. Lokanath Swami Maharaj has established the Bhakti Vedanta Academy, BASS, Bhakti Vedanta Academy for Spiritual Sciences in Noida, to teach the priceless heritage of Vedic culture and wisdom. He is also author of many books. The famous book is My Prabhupada in Conversation with Srila Prabhupada, and also Vrajmandal Darshan. And he is one of the initiating gurus in ISKCON, has initiated disciples all over the world, and he is also working on several book projects. Aside this, what I got, he is the greatest supporter of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium. In fact, recently, one day before, he has recorded a video for us, which we are going to discuss at some point in this interview with him. Maharaj, thank you very much for participating. And our first question to you, there are several questions which devotees wanted to ask you through this program. And one of our first question to you is, when we say this Harinam is the only way, and only way, or no other way, no other way, and no other way, is this statement, somebody can think it is like a fanaticism. How could you convince people otherwise? Is there any other way?
Lord also said that to what a number of occasions. One time he was talking to Shuklambar Brahmachari. He was from Navadvip. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started, he said this verse, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasdeva, 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 Gatiranyathan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started explaining this verse. In the beginning, he said that Kali Kali Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Naam Haite Sarva Jagat Nistar. And this holy name, well, the day that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he appeared in the evening, but the Lord appeared in another form during the day, and that was the Harinam Prabhu appeared during the day, and that's when all those folks coming from all over, taking baths and chanting the holy names of the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna appears, tomorrow is also appearing, we are celebrating the birth of Sri Krishna, and so that Sri Krishna appeared. Before Sri Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the beginning. She appeared in the form of the holy name during the day. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was explaining, he said this, Dardhi lagi harer nama yukti tinavar. Just to emphasize the glories and the of the holy name, that he has said this 3 bar. Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Namaiva. And Mahaprabhu said, after saying Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam 3 times, he said Harer Namaiva, Eva means certainly it is. And then he also has added another word, says Kevalam, that is also another one, and the only one. And then the next line, and this is from Brihad Naradiya Puran, Kalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyatha. Na asti eva, there, na, not, asti is, no asti, there is not, there is not, there is not. Gatiranyatha, gati means destination, or a process also that you adopt, or practices, religious practices. Gatir anyatha, anya means another, anya means another. There is no other process, no other way but Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Nasteva, Nasteva. So why is it saying 3 times Nasteva? That also has been explained by Mahaprabhu. He said, in this age of Kali, first Nasti Eva means not by karma, there's one Nasti Eva, not by jnana, karma kand, jnana kand, and not by yoga. One could realize, well, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he said, it's 3 times. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva gatiranyatha. This is the only way, it's the only way, it's the only way. And this statement that this Harer Nam, Mahima Kevalam, this is in Brihad Naradiya Puran, and this is an eternal statement that whenever there is Kali-yuga, you don't have to worry or wonder, oh, now what has to be done? So that mantra is there, that proclamation is there. So whenever there is age of Kali, you could close your eyes and do Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You would not go wrong. So Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, as he was talking to Prakashanand Saraswati in Varanasi, and as he was chanting and only chanting and doing nothing else, and all those Prakashanand Saraswati and company, he had 60,000 followers. They were criticizing Mahaprabhu. Oh, what kind of sentimental sannyasi you are. You should be studying Vedant. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so there was an interview or the dialogue between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prakashanand Saraswati. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you know, my Guru Maharaj, Murkha Deki, he thought I was just a foolish and Karila Shashan, and he ordered me. And what was the order? He asked me to chant Hare Krishna. And again, Mahaprabhu said to Prakashanand Saraswati and those who assembled, he repeated this mantra, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Ayam Kevalam. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you know, I took this instruction of my spiritual master so seriously that I chanted and Harer Nam Ayam Kevalam, right? Harer Kevalam, only Harinam. So that's what I was doing. And so as I was doing chanting and chanting day and night and Kaite, Suite, Nam, yeah, while sleeping, while eating, and what happened, Mahaprabhu said, yeah, he's saying this to Prakashanand Saraswati and assembled followers, said, you know, I got transformed, I was transformed, that Japite mantra karila pagal, I became, you know, mad. So I went back to my spiritual master and asked him, Kiva mantra dila gosai, kiva thara bol. What kind of mantra have you given? And there's so much power, so much strength in this mantra that this mantra is just handling me, and I have just gone mad. So then his spiritual master, he said, well, why are you surprised? This is what happens when one takes this Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, this instruction seriously. This is what happened. Krishna Nam, Mahamantre Yahi Subhav, Yahi Jape Tara Krishna, Upajaya Bhav. Anyone who chants these holy names constantly with conviction that this is the only way, especially in the age of Kali, then he develops bhav and love for the Lord. So that is what has happened to you. Why are you surprised? Go on, go on. So, well, this is the way. And this is not a new thing. Every time there's the age of Kali, you go for chanting the holy names of the Lord. That is what Sukadeva Goswami also said to King Parikshit. And this was beginning of the age of Kali. Kali was just about to commence, and Sukadeva Goswami said, Kalir doshanidhe rajanasti eko mahan gunaha. This Kali-yuga is full of faults, flaws, but there is eko mahan guna. But there's one good quality, like Harer Namai, but Kevalam, one quality of this holy name, of the age of Kali, and Kirtana eva Krishnasya. Only Krishna's name, again that Harer Namaiva, that eva only is also coming here in Sukadeva Goswami's statement. Krishna, Kirtana deva Krishna Shamukta Sangaha Param Brajet. So there's another authority, Sukadeva Goswami. He has strongly recommended chanting as the only process. And well, if you want to hear more, at the beginning,
I think we will. It's very difficult to stop you, and we don't want to stop you. One thing which I wanted to tell you is Amrish Prabhu would be very happy to see that background of the temple of Vedic Planetarium behind you. I was thinking it was my screensaver. Then I suddenly realized that is your screen, the backdrop, your backdrop. Maharaj, with this, I wanted to put another TOVP question. Of course, Ambrish Prabhu, I'm co-hosting with Ambrish Prabhu. He will also ask you a few questions. But I'm going to ask you, since you have a background, that immediately put me into one TOVP question to you. That if TOVP is accepted as Adbhut Mandir, how do you envision that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's eternal service will be spread all over the world from this temple?
Well, this was Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made one prediction that his holy name will spread all over the world. But Nityanand Prabhu was yet another personality of Godhead. In fact, Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalayataksho, the founding fathers of the Sankirtan movement are two. One is Gauranga, other one is Nityananda. So one predicted that the chanting of the holy name will reach every town, every village. And the other one, besides many other predictions, Nityanand Prabhu talked about this temple, Adbhut Mandir Hoibe Vikas, and from there, Gauranga Seva Hoibe Prakash, Gauranga's glories will spread all over the world. This is yet another prediction of Nityanand Prabhu. So this is, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he kept seeing from his balcony towards Yoga Peeth, and he was seeing the effulgence. And so he was seeing this Adbhut Mandir that Nityanand Prabhu talked about. And and Srila Prabhupada said Mayapur was his place of worship. So, Srila Prabhupada, well, he's going to be worshiping or do worship from this temple, from this TOVP temple, which is his brainchild. Well, I mean, Nityanand Prabhu predicted, and the whole thing was revealed unto Srila Prabhupada. He was envisioning this temple, and then he was talking and giving shape as he was sharing that with us. And so this is the place of worship of Srila Prabhupada. So I think before any other deities we bring into this temple, I think the TVVP leaders, or Ambarish Prabhu and Braja Vilas Prabhu and other Prabhus, I don't know who else is involved with the decision.
It's mainly Ambarish Prabhu.
Yeah, they are going to be bringing Srila Prabhupada into this temple.
Jai.
When Mayapur, and Acharya Upasana of the Acharya begins, or Acharya who is also going to be doing Upasana worship from this temple. He is coming, he's arriving, and the worship is going to be beginning very soon. So, Srila Prabhupada, he talked of whenever there is to be floods in Mayapur, Prabhupada said, oh, it's getting flooded here. So from here, we'll spread this flood of the holy name and the devotional services, devotional practices from Mayapur to all over the world. So this is the origin of the flood, epicenter of that flood, and from here it is going to spread all over the world. I mean, I was thinking, because I'm into kirtans, as this place gets ready, this temple is going to accommodate 10,000 Kirtaniyas. Huh?
Right.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
there is no temple hall or no other forum like Tovp where 10,000 at a time. So this is really congregation, congregational chanting and Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So victory to Sankirtan movement, and so as victory is going to be originating from Tovp. So I mean, we are really looking forward to the completion of this Tovp at the soonest, so that we could, that worship that Prabhupada talked about, my place of worship, that place of worship is Tovp. And Prabhupada is coming and he's going to begin the worship. And last year, the Pujari floors were inaugurated, and the year before, the chakra I could see in the background was installed. So everything is rolling, is in progress. So we would like this get completed, and for that we all have to do our part. I mean, Raja Vilas mentioned that I became responsible or instrumental in raising some funds in my area. So likewise, all over, everywhere, wherever holy name has reached, and I also keep saying this, what happens is, as everyone receives the Maha Mantra and he begins chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, from Nam to Dham, from Nam to Dham, from name to Mayapur, name to Navadvip.
Yeah.
So every chanter who receives the holy name, next thing he thinks is, one day I will go to Mayapur. My destination is Mayapur. So immediately they all make connection with Mayapur, and they are all going to be making connection with this Tovp, Adbhut, astounding temple that Nityananda Prabhu talked about. So Hari Hari Bol.
Jai.
Maharaj, you are encouraging so much us in this, what you have said. One thing which I wanted to ask you, because you said Prabhupada is going to come to the Tovp, and the Tovp, Amrish Prabhu has decided that next year, being the 125th year, the appearance year of Srila Prabhupada, and Amrish Prabhu decided that we wanted to welcome Prabhupada and install him, a beautiful worshipable pose which you said, and you made a video also about that one. So I wanted to ask you, because you were also the minister for the centennial celebrations. So you carried out the whole operations, how to welcome Prabhupada on the centennial celebrations. So if you can kindly tell us how it was like organizing centennial celebrations, and how was devotees were enthusiastically anticipating to participate in the centennial celebration, because this is quasi-centennial celebration now, 125th year.
Yeah, so I would say the highlight of the centennial celebration was the Abhishek that we conducted of Srila Prabhupada with, of course, Sahasra Tirtha Jal. We had collected waters from 1,000 holy places and exported them to all the temples. And, I was a centennial minister, and I was encouraging, inspiring. It wasn't just myself, all the leaders were also doing, inspiring everyone to have a grand celebration, so many events and monuments to be established, and this and that. So this was all going to be costing. Money talks, everything walks, right? So all those devotees wanted to have a grand celebration, but it was going to cost. So then our Centennial Ministry, we came up with this scheme of bathing Srila Prabhupada on that occasion, Abhishek, Maha Abhishek of Srila Prabhupada. And through this one event, which was also fundraising events, we raised enough funds to cover all the expenses of the centennial globally. So now devotees took this Abhishek concept so seriously and to their heart, and they knew this was going to bring some cash in hand, some fundraising is going to happen. So I think it's time to repeat the history.
Yes.
Or copy the success.
Yes.
So that was 100th birth anniversary, and this is a 125th birth anniversary of Srila Prabhupada. So I think the decision of Tovp leaders, Ambarish and others, to invite Prabhupada, welcome Prabhupada right into the temple hall or wherever he's going to be residing or sitting for all the time to come, yeah, you already have thought of making a very extraordinarily beautiful deity of Prabhupada, worshipable pose or worship pose, and then do a Maha Abhishek of Srila Prabhupada on this occasion. And I think this is giving all of us a service opportunity that we could all sponsor this Abhishek of, there's of various kinds as per your capability. There are the silver kalash and copper kalash and gold kalash. And I think Ambarish will go for platinum kalash. Or I heard about this and I was very enthused myself, and I am encouraging Ambarish and team to go for this, and I would appeal to devotees globally, as they had cooperated 25 years ago during 1996. During Abhishek time, there were so many sponsors had stepped forward. So if that happens this time, one more time, and for some of you, this could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to have a Abhishek of Srila Prabhupada right inside Tovp. I think we could all understand that because of the pandemic situation, things have slowed down, the fundraising a little bit, and the construction is also. So we need to give a boost to all the operations of physical construction and the fundraising, and I think this is a fantastic proposal that Ambarish Prabhu has come up with. So go for it. And,
thank you so very much, Maharaj, because Ambarish Prabhu wanted to start next year with a grand celebration by inviting Srila Prabhupada, because 2020 was almost not much we could do, and our construction, we are just going to start by this month, and we are going to start the construction up again. And we are all expecting Prabhupada to come, and so that we can even dedicate ourselves more than what we are now. So now, Ambarish Prabhu, is there any questions, or I can go with some questions with Maharaj? You have anything to ask him?
No, I just wanted to, offer my obeisances to Maharaj. I've known Maharaj for many, many years. I think we were together with Prabhupada in '75 when he took sannyas. And then during the centennial, we worked together. And I remember there were, what is it?
In Bombay, we're together on Juhu Beach. We walked together with Srila Prabhupada.
That's right. I have that photograph. Yes, I have that wonderful photograph. But yeah, during the centennial, and we had that, the ISKCON Foundation and the petals of the lotus flower for the different activities going on in the and one of the petals was the Tovp. It wasn't called the Tovp back then, but it was the Mayapur project. So I trace pardon me?
Monuments, establishing monuments.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So this was a major monument that we were.
Yes. And I remember Sridhar Maharaj and myself, we started planning for the fundraising, and I traced my involvement with the Tovp back to the centennial, 1996. So and you've always been, so supportive and helpful. And we came to your temple and raised money, and it was wonderful. So my question, Maharaj, is that, because your main interest is kirtan, and you're I've told you this many times before, you're one of my most favorite kirtan leaders. It's beautiful to listen to you sing. But this temple is the Brihat Mridanga. And Prabhupada said to me personally that he wanted to bring the whole world to Mayapur. So broadcasting the holy name from this temple, how do you see that the activities of kirtan coming from this temple and having people visit from all over the world will influence the forces of Kali-yuga, which are getting more and more intense all the time? It seems to me that this year Kali has really dug in his heels, and things are going to be a rough road from now on. So how do you see that this temple and the holy name will influence the age of Kali?
And the holy name and Mahaprabhu has influenced the world, and Srila Prabhupada has. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu propagated holy name all over India. And at one point, Srila Prabhupada, he was in Guntur or someplace in South India, and he said he has left the job of spreading the holy name overseas or beyond the boundaries of India. He left this up to me, up to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is empowered. He's our Senapati Bhakta. And, what transpired and transformed, in 65 and during Prabhupada days, and who could have imagined, that there'll be Jagannath Ratha Yatra on the 5th Avenue of Manhattan, and who could have imagined, I don't know what, so many things which has happened, and so many books have been distributed, and chanting has gone all over. And the Westerners, I take that also as a very historical. Just he had a bunch of followers in 65, 66, and ISKCON was registered, and he was already calling it International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And he was talking, my temples are everywhere, my followers are everywhere, and this everywhere. He was talking to a gentleman who was sitting next to him on the bench. So nothing was existing, but he was talking International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So then when he had few followers, one day he sat down with them and he said, all this vision he shared, and you could assist me to spread the holy name and Krishna consciousness all over the world. And if you're serious, you'll have to follow 4 regulative principles. And well, what are those, Swamiji? And Prabhupada said, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. Are you ready to follow these principles? Then you could be my genuine follower and could support me. Are you ready? And everyone assembled there, raise their hands. And I think this was a turnaround, or this was a beginning of the end of the age of Kali.
Yeah.
If that could happen, so what is Kali? Kali resides in 4 places, right? Where there's a meat eating, where there's intoxication, where there's illicit sex, where there's a gambling. These 4 places were given by Parikshit Maharaj to age of Kali, and just see the influence of the holy name, and that the Westerners, for first time in the history of the world, they were ready to denounce and kick out this meat-eating, intoxication, and this was because they had developed higher taste because of the chanting of the holy name and honoring Krishna Prasad, and of course sadhu sang that they were getting from Srila Prabhupada, and now we have over 1,000 temples and millions of followers. So if someone had asked, or informed or said, in early 60s, 63, 64, that in 2020, there'll be devotees coming from over 100 countries to Mayapur, and they are going to be doing Jai Sachinandana, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur also had predicted. Who could have believed such a thing? Forget it. What? You're talking about people from 100 countries coming to Mayapur and chanting Hare Krishna, forgetting. And Prabhupada, this is United Nation of the spiritual world. So if this much could happen, which was, say, one time beyond our imagination or inconceivable, so if this much could happen, then more also could happen. So you may say, look at the situation now, the pandemic, COVID-19, everything looks bleak, and is there a way out, or this end of the world or something? Nothing of the sort. These things, they will be out of the way. They will be, these stumbling blocks will be overcome by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his holy name, and his predictions are no doubt. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted holy name is going to reach every town, every village, that is bound to happen. And if Nityanand Prabhu has also predicted this Tovp temple, Adbhut Mandir, this is also bound to happen.
Yeah.
How it is going to happen, this on us, but it's going to happen.
Okay.
We should be convinced.
Okay. Thank you.
Wonderful,
Maharaj.
wonderful, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. I'm going to take a polling question now, one polling question where all the devotees who are online can vote for it. Just take a 15 seconds. So I'm going to launch this polling questions, and I'm also going to ask Maharaj about this polling question. The question is, the TOVP will influence change in the world in many different ways. What is the single most way you think the TOVP will affect the world? It's a multiple choice question. Please vote. There is the answers are: spreading the chanting of Hare Krishna, making more devotees, distribute more books, inform people about Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Like that, I've ended the polling. Thank you all for voting. And everybody voted. It will do everything. The TOVP will influence in spreading the chanting of Hare Krishna. I'm sharing the results. Make more devotees than any other temple. Distribute more books than anywhere else. Inform people about Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. More people will hear about Srila Prabhupada, and Vedic cosmology will become more popular. Thank you all very much for voting this polling question. Maharaj, I wanted to now come to a very important question. Is that in the final days of Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan, he expressed his ardent desire to go on a parikrama. And he called and chose you to lead the party. Please narrate the story. It's a very, very interesting story in this regard, your personal relationship with Srila Prabhupada during his final pastimes.
Yeah, so that, yeah, those days, 77, October, November, Srila Prabhupada was bedridden and he was in Vrindavan. So that time, anyway, I had to make a, I should be making long story short, otherwise it would take ages. That we were traveling, and our party was called Narad Muni Traveling Sankirtan Party. Traveling, and we had gone to all the way to Badrika Ashram. We were in Himalayan mountain distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. But we also knew, I mean, we were in Vrindavan, from Vrindavan. I was in Bombay also with Srila Prabhupada, and when he had arrived from London. And then we were with Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan for some time, and then we took off and we went on distributing books. But so we knew Prabhupada's health was not good at all. So those days there was no way to get the news. No mobiles, no SMS, no nothing. So we came down, and we came to Vrindavan to meet Srila Prabhupada, find out Prabhupada's health status and be with Prabhupada. So as our party was party men, we were allowed kindly by Srila Prabhupada to enter his quarters, and we gave a whole report of book distribution. And Prabhupada was asked, which book is selling the most, and this, that. And I gave the report. I also mentioned to Srila Prabhupada that while we were in Badrika Ashram, we visited a cave of Vyas Gufa. And I said, I showed Srila Prabhupada your Bhagavad Gita to Srila Vyasadeva. So we had gone with Gita with us, so we did not see Vyasadeva, but we thought Vyasadeva must have seen us and the Gita. So Prabhupada heard this and he liked it. Anyway, so towards the end we were leaving. And I was the last person to leave the Prabhupada's quarter, and I was just taking one last glimpse of Srila Prabhupada. And then he signaled me, said, come back. So I went back and sat very close. We had to sit very close to Srila Prabhupada to even hear and understand what he had to say. So, and then Prabhupada said to me that he wanted to see me, and what time could he see me? You understand my English? What time? Prabhupada, okay. So this is the humility of Srila Prabhupada. So I said, no, there was the question of what time I wanted. You could see me any time. And the Prabhupada said, is 4 o'clock okay? Again, he said, is 4 o'clock okay? It was more than okay for me. So then all day, I was wondering, thinking, what is that Prabhupada wants? And when he said, he wanted to talk to me, he's very serious and grave, and so I was wondering all day, what he wanted to talk to me about? What does he want? So finally around 4 o'clock, I went to Prabhupada's door. But the servants and secretaries, Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Bhavananda Maharaj and Bhakti Chauru Maharaj, they had assembled in the Krishna Balaram guest house lobby, the front desk. So I was directed to go there. So when I arrived, so I found out that what Prabhupada wanted to talk to me about at 4 o'clock, he had already spoken to his servants and secretaries. So they told me Prabhupada wants to go on a bullock cart. He wants to go on a tour Vrindavan. And as Govardhan Puja is ahead of us, he wants to go to Govardhan as a first spot. So then myself and Pancha Dravida Swami and another Maharaj, name just skipped. So we went to Mathura and we were arranging, and we did arrange finally. It was difficult. Those days, the farmers did not want to work their bulls because it's Govardhan Puja time. So they wanted to rest and worship their bulls and cows. And so finally we managed to. So the bullock cart had come and was parked in front of Krishna Balaram temple on the front road. And we were greatly anticipating traveling with Srila Prabhupada. But then that evening, I had come back. We had come back and reported to Prabhupada about the bullock carts have arrived. Bullock cart, one cart, and a lot of discussion was there about that travel. So we went to bed expecting bullock cart party to get on, hit the road and go to Govardhan. But during the night, Srila Prabhupada was approached by Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj and Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Bhavanand Maharaj and I don't know who else. And I think must be Bhakti Charu Maharaj is the one who arranged Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, one of Prabhupada's god brother, also to come, and they wanted to use him to get some message across or get some concern across to Srila Prabhupada. And that concern was, the health condition. Yeah, not fit to travel on a bullock cart. Really. So there were lots of discussion and back and forth between Prabhupada and those Bhaktichara Maharaja and others, the samples. Krishnadas Maharaj also was like their advocate. And so Prabhupada was convinced that this is not the best idea, really. So at that time, Prabhupada said to Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, just see how much they love me and those who were had expressed their concern and appealing to Srila Prabhupada not to travel. So that is what happened, and so the bullock cart program was cancelled. And but I will quickly say that next day we had again gathered around Srila Prabhupada, because the traveling idea Prabhupada did not give up. Because he was saying, I want to leave the body of this world fighting with Maya, and preaching is fighting. So he was feeling restless, lying on the bed. So he wanted to go out. So the next day, as we had gathered around, Prabhupada made a plan. He proposed that let me travel with the buses. And everyone welcomed the idea. And also those days, when we were hearing that Prabhupada wants to travel with the bullock cart, fine, very nice. Well, Prabhupada wants to travel with the buses, wonderful. The thought was that meant Prabhupada is going to stay longer with us. He's not leaving us. He's staying on with. So that was inspiring. We were really becoming jubilant as we were hearing these travel plans. So now that travel plan with the buses, and then all those who were assembled, we were all talking and saying to Srila Prabhupada, there was a Giriraj. He was Prabhu those days, not sannyasi yet. That Prabhupada, wherever we travel, the buses, whichever town we go to, there will be a opportunity for making life members. Would I come? Prabhupada, yes, come. And Swarup Damodar, Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, he was right there. Wherever we go, there are scientific-minded people everywhere. So could I come? I could have conferences, interviews of you. Could I go? Yes, you could go. There was a Bhakti Caitanya Swami, one Indian from Chandigarh, from Punjab. He was a good driver. He said, Prabhupada, I'm a good driver. Could I come? Yes, he could come. And then, although I knew for sure I had to go, there was a long discussion before this could I come thing was happening. And I asked Prabhupada, could I come, Prabhupada? And Prabhupada said, difficult to say what he said, but he said it, so I had to say it. He said, you will be our leader. So anyway, so like that. Anything else? Raja Vilas?
You're asking home. I just got into the story, Maharaj. I was now totally into the story. You brought me back. Maharaj, as time is clicking on, we have only 5 minutes to go, and I have to ask you one question from the audience. This is they're saying, according to your experience, what religion will become the goal of all religions?
Well, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while talking to Prakashana Saraswati, I have that statement right here. Adilila, 7th chapter, verse number 74. Nam bina kali kale nahi ar dharma sarva mantra saranam shastra marma. So this is Mahaprabhu talking. Lord who has appeared, Dharma Samsthapana Arthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge, the Lord who has appeared to establish Dharma for this age of Kali, he's talking. He says, Nam bina Kali Kale nai ar dharma. Except and besides chanting the holy name of the Lord, there is no other dharma. There is no other religion.
Wonderful, Maharaj. Wonderful. You had put it wonderfully. We have 3 minutes to go. I'm going to ask you one last question. Before the question, I wanted to announce a few things. Many of them asked, what is the background which I have, the TOVP Book of Devotion. This is also Ambrish Prabhu idea to offer all the donors who have completed their pledges. We are putting in a golden book. This book is produced from the same company which did the big Bhagavad Gita, which is there in Delhi, the largest Bhagavad Gita. So this is an offering of devotion of all the devotees who have sacrificed their lives in building this temple, and all those names, all those leaders who have helped, all those gurus, all those devotees who have helped and completed their pledges and sacrificed, those names will go into this golden book, and it will be offered on Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja on the 125th appearance year. That is this book. And second thing, as Maharaj was briefly explaining about all the various programs which we have next year for the 125th year, Ambrish Prabhu want to celebrate it in a very big way. Welcome Prabhupada. As Maharaj also said, Prabhupada is coming, Prabhupada is coming, and Prabhupada is coming. The whole TOVP mode is thus, we are just waiting for Prabhupada to come. And we wanted to install Prabhupada, and Prabhupada, we are going to pray to Prabhupada so that we can complete this, and Prabhupada can oversee all the aspects of construction and give us that strength to finish this temple on time. Maharaj, now coming, we have 2 minutes. I'm coming to my last question to you.
Brett,
Okay.
I just want to interject that you're very kind. You're giving credit to an old man, but these ideas are all coming from your very fertile brain. So I don't take credit for any of it.
No, it's without your blessings, this cannot happen. Now, and Maharaj is also blessing us with he has done a beautiful video, and we have uploaded the video. Sunanda Prabhu is uploading the video. Maharaj, what Maharaj had spoken about the 125th year, the TOVP program, and that is going viral now while we are talking. Maharaj, my last question to you is that Prabhupada always liked you so much, and he at some point of time also called you our Tukara. And all the devotees also says Kirtan Samrat. They have so much love for you, and they die for your Kirtan. They really, that your Kirtan is all over the world. What is the secret?
Hare Namaiva Kevalam. Very, I mean, I don't know. what it is. Certainly, this Gauranga and his mercy and Prabhupada and his blessings. I mean, whatever disciple is, this is the mercy. Mercifully, spiritual master Srila Prabhupada is making us. So what we are is, it's Tamara Karuna Sara. This is Karuna of Karuna avatar. So we have this Corona is there, but Karuna is the mercy of Gauranga and Srila Prabhupada's mercy is there. Hari Hari.
Jai.
Maharaj, wonderful. We thank you so very, very much for your support and your constant encouragement to all of us. And Amrish Prabhu always wanted, when the temple is open, he wants your Kirtan to be the first Kirtan in this temple. And it's going to be very grand, Maharaj. We are expecting for that day to come. Every day we are waiting when that day will come. We are very, very grateful to you and to all our viewers who have participated from Amrish Prabhu and the rest of the TOP team. A very, very happy Janmashtami, and also Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja. Thank you all very much for all your support which you have shown to us. Hare Krishna. Amrish Prabhu, anything?
No, thank you very much. Thank you, Maharaj, for coming and always blessing us. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in real life.
Let's meet in Mayapur.
Yes.
When Prabhupada comes, we have to be there at his lotus feet.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
That's wonderful.
let's do a visit together.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. We are waiting for the day. Thank you.